Midwest Food Bank actually started in 2003, but I like to think it started 60 years ago. In 1961, my parents moved from Mackinac to Bloomington, and it wasn't long after we lived in Bloomington that my parents made acquaintance with our neighbors around us. And one of those families was a family that had 8 children, and they needed help. My mom would buy too many groceries, and when she brought them home, she'd put ours in the cabinets, and then she'd load up this little red wagon and tell us to take it to the family that lived back in the dirt lane. And I didn't think too much about it. As time went on, I realized that she wasn't buying too many groceries. It was intentional. She was trying to meet the needs of those people that lived back there. And my father would have the fuel man come out and fill our fuel tank for our house. I remember seeing him give the fuel man some extra money, and he'd tell him to go back down and fill Oscar's tank up because their house was going to get cold also. That when you see a need and you got the resources to do something about it, don't turn your head and walk away. Try to do something to help them out, whoever it may be. Learn, you earn, and you return. And for me, it's at that age when you get to the point of return that you can really enjoy the blessings of what you did for your career. And again, you can't predict what God can do when people get together to help other people. You just can't predict that. And so when I think about the food bank today and the legacy that my parents have left, I feel like there's so much that God has taken beyond where we ever would have thought it could have went. If you look at the Salvation Army food box, their name is inked on the side of it. Several years ago, they added Midwest Food Bank to that same box, but it's because of our commitment to each other, our loyalty to each other, our belief with each other that we're not going to let people hurt without trying to do the best we can, the two organizations together. Coming to Fort Myers, Florida, we would come down here in winter, my wife and I, and because we were in the food bank business up in Illinois, it was of interest to me to see how things were going down here and if the agencies down here were getting enough food to serve the people. And after visiting a few of those agencies, I found out there was still a need beyond what was being provided for. And so our first course of action for Midwest Food Bank in Florida at Fort Myers was to bring a semi-load of food down from Illinois. And in that semi-load, we would have 5 agencies represented. We would leave Illinois with that semi, we would come here and we would actually physically go to the pantry with the semi. And volunteers would come, we would tell them we're going to be there, and they'd come and they would help us unload that by hand. A load of product that somebody would donate to us. And we brought loads down for probably almost a year. And we could see that we needed more than that. We bought this building here just to make it more established. I can anxiously and excitedly say, I'm glad I don't know where the future is going to be, but I trust the one that has started it, and I trust the CEO that we have today, and that's God.